And welcome to the Invention Licensing Show. I am your host, David Fidewa, and I'm here to help you license your product. Today, I want to go into 2020 review and what I saw of 2020 and to kind of make sense of the year. So to jump right into it, 2020. Yeah, it's a little bit of a crazy year. Obviously, pandemic. There was a lot of things that happened this year, and I know that it was a difficult year for a lot of people. The inventing world took a hit, a lot of people's worlds took a hit, and so I wanted to try to bring light or the best sense of what I felt happened this year to kind of show people the path of what I think is coming in 2021. So 2020, me personally, I had a couple deals coming together in January, early in the year. As soon as COVID hit, as soon as things started getting shut down, those deals got shut down. And so really all licensing deals got put on hold from me and my students from, I'd say, late February, mid-February, all the way through June even, which was fascinating. Because everybody kind of saw, or a lot of companies that I talked to, they're like, as soon as we come out of this, we're going to need new products, but we don't know when we're going to come out of it, so we don't know when to invest. And so that's where my deals kind of got hung up. I had 3 of them that were ready to close probably January, February, March-ish in those 3 months, and then they never came together. Well, I guess now that we're ending the year, they're coming together, but that was a deal that would have closed back Q1 of the year, and now we're into the fourth quarter and probably won't close until the first quarter of 2021. And so companies got very scared or afraid of investing in new innovation. They wanted it, we talked about it, but they didn't want to move it forward. What I'm seeing, or what I did, was I looked at a lot of the year as developing relationships, getting products in front of potential licensees so that they know about my product. I checked in with them frequently, I'm talking like once every month or two, so that when they were ready to license a new product, my product was top of mind. I kind of changed my strategy from I'm going to license a product to I want to be the first product that they do license when they're starting and getting ready to launch new products. That was my strategy through the spring and summer. As we entered the fall and winter, some companies in some industries started looking at, hey, sorry, we're not looking at new products at all. We're looking at how do we make it through the spring. And so, I obviously, my heart went out to them because they're in a bad financial situation and they were trying to make it through. And so I was very understanding. I stood back and let them do their thing, knew that new product is not what they needed at that time to get through to the next spring, because that's kind of where they saw this thing or this pandemic kind of getting broken apart is by the spring of 21. And so other companies, though, were really looking at it as, all right, if this thing does break loose in spring of 21, we got to have product. We don't want to be the only ones that get caught flat-footed. And so I saw companies starting to reach out and saying, hey, we need new products. Let's get this thing rolling again. But even then, they had a difficult time moving the products forward because they have their standard process and the ways that they bring products to market, but they weren't able to do it. They would have a meeting and review it and discuss it and then delegate tasks to move the product forward. But when they're all working remotely, they would email it around and basically create an email chain of, do we want this? Yes, here's the pros and cons. And it would have a difficult time getting the inertia or the motion forward needed to really start the product down the path of getting on the shelf. So I was seeing that I needed to be more proactive as the inventor to move my projects forward through this sequence. I mean, I was getting answers faster because they wouldn't need to set up a meeting time. They would just create a email group internally. They'd email it to everybody give their feedback, and then they'd get back. And this is in COVID time. Pre-COVID time, they would say the person you're contacted with or your contact at the company would say, we're interested, but we want to see what, well, we got to set a meeting. And so they'd set a meeting a week or two out, and then they'd have the meeting, they'd discuss it, and then they'd get back to you in a couple weeks. But now, so that feedback loop is actually faster, but the process of getting to market is slower because they don't have all their people in the right places and able to execute at the level that they did pre-lockdown and pre-remote work situations. And so it's an interesting dynamic, and it's forever changing, I feel like now, because some companies are going to stay permanently remote or partially remote. And so I'm learning myself how to navigate my products through the licensing process with companies that are partially remote, that they're working with some of their staff out of the office, they can't meet individually, and then also distribution chains are kind of broken apart. And not to like bring more doom and gloom to the year that has been, I feel that as the vaccines get put out there and are more readily available, those supply chains are going to come back together. I've actually seen opportunities for U.S. manufacturers to supply product because they don't need to be shipped overseas. There's a lot less risk in the COVID spread, and so U.S. manufacturing has had a little bit of some bump because of this. And so I have one product that I'm licensing that's U.S.-based manufacturing, and that's one of the reasons it's getting pushed through is because it's readily available. They don't have to go through a supply chain that's having difficulty right now. So it's been an interesting year. I've been continuing to find the best in the situations and trying to find the light and trying to bring new products to market. It's been difficult, but as I had in one of my videos recently, the obstacle is the way, right? There's going to be inventors that figure this out. There's going to be the individuals that figure out how to work with companies, how to work with new broken distribution chains. And those that do are going to be the ones that get their product licensed, and they're the ones that are going to be on the shelf. And the company or the inventors that don't, that say, I want to work it the old way, they're going to get left behind. And so I think 2021, as I'm going to cover in my next video, kind of more of a looking forward video, how to approach 21 in a way that has that growth mindset. You know, it's a different world now. We're going to have to approach things differently, and it's having that open mind to get there. So I do hope to see you on the next video. It's the 2021 New Business Opportunities video.